and calendar flipping, which is akin to witchcraft, and man saying that I will change myself. Humanism cannot deliver permanent change. How many know what I'm talking about?
Amen. That's true.
And every time you make a New Year's resolution, you are manifesting a sin of the flesh. It's humanism. So if you're pressured to make a New Year's resolution, say, Father, forgive me. I have succumbed to the sin of humanism. See, now what the church does is says, no, that's not humanism. Humanism is if you have an abortion. You took control, you took life into your own hands. Sure, that's humanism. But how does that differ from saying, because December 31st has become January 1st, that suddenly, miraculously, my human effort will kick into high gear because it's a new year? That's witchcraft, that's mysticism, that's esoteric forbidden realm that is forbidden to the Talmidim of the Most High Yahweh. That's forbidden to us. It's forbidden. Is anybody enjoying?
Yes. Amen.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. What did Yeshua say? Which of you, by worrying, can add anything to life? And what is a New Year's resolution really? Can we talk? What is it really? It is worrying and trying to say, okay, if I do something, I no longer have to be worried about it. If I do an action, if I take an action, if I change a behavior and flip the calendar, I don't have to be worried about it anymore. Only problem is after you break the resolution, what happens then? You're back to worrying. Make sense?
Yes.
Change, listen, it's very important, is not the inheritance of the unsaved. Change is not the inheritance of the unsaved. Those who are not walking with Yahweh in Torah and in salvation are what's known as doctors of mess. You ever hear of you know what it means to be a doctor of mess? Everything you touches turns to mess. Without Yahweh, isn't that our life? Yes. Isn't that our life without Yahweh? Right. Everything we touch turns to mess. We're doctors of mess. Amen. So a doctor of mess goes home, listens to all these witchcraft voices, turns the paper, and thinks things are different. Because the doctor of mess, instead of turning to the great doctor, the great physician, he sees himself as a doctor of his own healing, which is a manifestation of humanism. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. And I don't know about you, but I came to learn a long time ago, doctors of mess can't change anything. And I'm right there. I'm a doctor of mess. Without Yeshua, everything I touched turned to mess. I went into business, I lost money. I bought vending machines, they got stolen. I dated girls, they lost my phone number. The first saved girl that I ever dated, I wound up marrying. I'm a doctor of mess. I was a doctor of mess until Yeshua showed me that he does everything, I do nothing.
Amen.
My son Moshe, just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. And believe me, I was a doctor of mess. Turn to your neighbor and say, he was a messed up doctor. Most people go into business to make money. I saw my vending machines walk out the door. Why? Because I bought cheap vending machines. They were so cheap that people just left. They didn't get in and steal the money. They took the machine and walked out.
With the money in it.
So I put a lock on the door and I said, ooh, the machine is secure. No problem. So the thief came in, took the vending machines and walked home. I got an apartment. I rented an apartment of my own. I moved in under a drunk Irish guy upstairs. 4 o'clock every Sunday. Lord's Day. This guy had no children. He had no wife. By 4 o'clock, Yahweh's my witness. Every Sunday he started vacuuming at 4 o'clock in the morning. I chose an apartment on my own flesh, in my own understanding. Right? And even Rivka, our first apartment in Kew Garden Hills. Yeah, John would put on his boots every Sunday morning. This guy slept in his boots. Rivka could tell you, it was impossible. We couldn't live. Why? Because I rented in my own understanding. Moshe Konachowski was a doctor of mess. I couldn't hold a job. For me, $150 a week was a lot of money. Then I found out the Torah walk in Yeshua as king, and he changed my life, and I didn't trust in pages and mystical voices coming through the TV telling me I wasn't cool if I didn't do what the world did and celebrate New Year's. Now the church has got some of it right. Don't drink on New Year's, don't party on New Year's, don't fornicate. They got that right, but what they're not telling their people is, it ain't New Year's, stay home.
Don't eat pork.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Spare ribs.
New Year's resolutions are designed to impress each other and impress oneself. They are manifestations of humanism. Listen, they are flirtations of humanism. Are you with me? Listen, can we talk? We're just getting started, so don't get antsy on me because we're just getting started.
Come on.
If you give up smoking for 3 months and I only give it up for 2 weeks, whoa, you're better than me. You're more spiritual than me. You see, New Year's resolutions are designed to compare ourselves to ourselves. And Yahweh says, no, we are stupid if we compare ourselves to ourselves. We are to compare ourselves to Yahushua, who wants us to be a mature, perfect man, built up in the things of the kingdom, walking in the fullness of life that he has for us in the Messiah, Yeshua. That's what New Year's resolutions are about, Brian. Wow. If you can stick to it longer than I can, you're a bigger man than I am.
Wow. Measure of man.
You're a greater man. You got more fortitude. You got more humanism. You got more heart. You got more of a will of iron. You got more fortitude. You got more inner strength.
Right.
Measure of man.
And so in the world, you are greater than I am because you were able to stick it out long. So the very fact of New Year's resolutions are designed, listen, to compare one to another. See, Linda, you couldn't keep your resolution, but Shirley did. You know what that means? That means you're a lot less of a human being than Shirley is. Now, I'm only giving you an example.
Wow.
Now, that doesn't sound right, does it? That didn't sound right, right? You know why it didn't sound right? Because it wasn't right.
Loto.
Right? So they're dastardly. What did Yeshua say? Whatever is more than yes and no is from the wicked one. Because what is the wicked one too? Yochanan 10:10. The wicked one comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He comes to steal your self-worth, steal your self-esteem, steal your self-honor, and make you less than someone else who went 3 months without overeating and you only made it for 3 days.
Promises, promises.
Why torture yourself like that? Yahweh, Yeshua said, I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly, morning by morning, not new year by new year. Whoever told Israel to celebrate, honor, recognize, or give mental assent to a new year, whether his or a pagan one. Yahweh doesn't want you to honor the new year. He wants you to honor his son who has made you a new creation in the Messiah, Yeshua.
New creation. New creation.
You think about what I'm telling you. New Year's resolutions are manifestations and flirtations of humanism. What is abortion? A woman says, it's my body. I can do what I want. Baby, shmaybe, it's alive, it's not alive. It doesn't matter. I am Elohim over this baby. I give it permission to breathe, and I give it permission not to breathe. Well, Christianity and Judaism is pretty quick to condemn that, aren't they? But when we make New Year's resolutions that give ourselves authority in our lives, when all Yeshua said, whatever is more than yes or no is of the wicked one, we don't see it that way. We don't see it that way. Yahweh says, whenever you manifest humanism, it is not of the Father. Turn with me to Zechariah 4:6.
Zechariah 4:6.
One of Brian's favorite scriptures. Zechariah 4:6. Here's the way it happens. Here's how permanent change happens. Permanent change is the inheritance, listen, of blood-washed, saved, Torah-keeping disciples. I'll say that again. True change is the result of blood-washed, Torah-keeping disciples. If you're blood-washed and not Torah-keeping, you will not inherit permanent change. If you're Torah keeping and you're not blood washed, you also